I've always loved animals. When I was a kid, I was always reading zoology books and stuff like that. And so for me, working with them is just really exciting. I admire how they live so close to the earth, and they're probably my biggest inspiration for how I want to live. Like, I want to be the human animal, the human version of that, you know? Like, be able to just go out in the woods and survive. I'm Christine, and I take care of the animals in the farm for the owners, because this is like their part-time life. I start off by feeding the animals, basically, is the first thing. And that doesn't take very long, maybe 20 minutes or so. And then it's hard to say because at that point every day is different. So if like once a week I cut the grass, which is like half a day project. So because there's lots to cut, and then I also weed whack around the edges and stuff that I can't get with the mower. And then other times I have time to work on my own projects, so some days I'll just dedicate to tanning hides. When I tan a hide, I'll skin the animal, and assuming it's a deer, I remove the hair, and then it's just like a plain piece of skin at that point. And then you add it into whatever you're using to soften, which would be brains in the primitive situation. But I've been using a mix of soap and oil, and then you let that soak, and then you wring it out. So that pushes the oils or softening solution through the pores, and then you stretch it, which opens up the fibers, and then you put it back in the solution, and then you just repeat that multiple times depending on how big the hide is. And then once you have it soaked enough through, then you just stretch it until it's completely dry, and then at that point it'll be soft. And then the very last step is you smoke it over some coals and rotten wood, and makes it a really beautiful golden color, and that just locks in the softness, so if you get it wet, it won't dry hard. Some of the crafts I've made from bones were like, I've made daggers out of them, I've made just like cool looking stuff, not super practical. Sometimes skulls I just will hang up as decoration. I don't do too much to those. Or there are these bones in the, I guess you call it the ankle of the deer, and they're long and thin, and you can narrow them down and make sewing needles out of them. For me, being close to nature is living closer to the way nature intended us to live. So eating wild edibles and hunting and processing your own meat, and just basic skills for living off the land, because people are so disconnected. They'll go to the grocery store, they'll pick up a pack of meat, they won't even think of the animal it came from. There's no knowledge, there's no emotional connection. You don't know the animal whatsoever. You don't even know what it's been eating, or if it's been stressed out beforehand, or anything at all. So I think it's really important to know the animal first, and then you can fully appreciate it when you take its life to sustain your own. And same with wild edibles, there's a lot of respect there too. You don't just want to pick them all, you just want to pick a little bit of each patch so that it can keep growing. From my experience, I would definitely suggest to someone who wants to get into homesteading to start off on other farms, because the best way to learn is to be hands-on. You're not going to just read a book about homesteading and then be able to go out and do it. You can't really learn anything like that. So there's so many different farms that take interns, and they want farm hands and they want help. So a lot of it is work exchange, so they'll offer you meals for your work or a place to stay. And that's what I've been doing for a long time. So, and there's no school or anything to learn homesteading. You have to just go to the homestead and live it to learn it.